Mr. Sniffles. Hopefully the sound stayed solid through all that. I know I got the end. We got a little monotonous because I was just in a rut of what the fuck time is he trying? Like my brother's good, but some of the stuff he tries timing wise, sometimes it's just like, dude, I could tell you're way too high right there. Because even you don't even know what timing you're running. Like I try to give him a loose framework of like 9s and 12s and 17s and shit, but yeah. Much like any other plan, it starts off one way and ends another. Oh, what did I want to watch today? Shout out to tolerant neighbors for not really giving me shit ever. Playing music at 2 in the morning.
You can't just give somebody money and they give you back a beer. You know what I mean? I stood in line for an hour. My mouth is dry. I want a beer.
What a week. It was pretty mountain. I got all the Christmas shopping done for the boy. Just gotta head to the movie store. Watch some kind of cool older guy movie for Grandpa. Then I'll take Max to pick up something pretty for his mom and grandma. That's it. 4 gifts away. Freedom for another year. And I'm stoked. I'm getting the V, the Final Battle, and V, the original miniseries, 2-disc DVD set, Blu-ray, whatever version she ordered. I got the player for it. So that's Stoker. I've been wanting to see that. Like they don't really have it in reruns anywhere. So I've been itching to see that for like decades. Keyline Pies getting beat up. Almost smoked the whole G.
These classes eliminate 100% of all UV-ray. No, apparently you don't get it. This thing decodes a digital satellite signal it picks up from outer fucking space. And then it turned out the glasses got basic cable and I felt like a dickhead. Look, Braveheart. You ever take a crap so big your pants fit better? I'm hoping that happens to me later tonight. Because, these babies don't fit anymore.
In case you watch this, I'm waiting on that. Hear that, girl?
He was staring at me. And he said this. He said, "Are you?"
Getting some of that girl and your friend Lucy.
Yeah.
I probably won't partake though.
He said, "Have you wasted half your life in bars pursuing shit? This guy's good. Are you sitting in a beanbag chair naked eating Cheetos? Yes, sir. So do you feel the urge to get up and send me $1,000? Close. I thought he was talking about me there for a second. Apparently, I ain't the only cat on the block eats Cheetos. Well, it's great to be back in Kalamazoo. Yes, thank you. Last time I was here, they took me to the blues festival. I love the blues. I don't like to party anywhere where you can't just give somebody money and get back a beer. You know what I mean? I stood in line for an hour. My mouth is dry. I want beer. I want beer. I go to selling beer. People walk up in the front of the line. They got beer. That's how I figure the whole thing out. I get up there. I give the guy my money. We don't take money here. What do you take? Coupon. What? Coupons. Where do I get a coupon? See that line over there?
Yeah, you know.
It takes forever. I sit in that
Good
line
old
for an hour.
fashioned
I gotta
coffee.
show my driver's license, birth certificate, fill out a form. They mail that away.
Bored most of the night, so I was drawn.
I'm waiting on UPS. There's a good chance I'll have a beer by Thursday.
It's mostly just the color segments.
I'm partying
Still
like
got
a
it black.
kennedy right now.
Black it once it's all colored. I go over it with black ink, shading, highlights and shit.
I was game too. I had 100 plus cash on me, about 100 bucks worth of food. And then some guys that took me there asked me if I wanted to go to Taco Club and get water cup. I just ended up going because you guys packed me up on a mess. You'd seen one woman that you want to see the rest of them. They could be an old biker chick, you know, they're going to hang down here. All right, that's enough. Roll them back up. Things that make you go.
Shatter so hard I have to heat the wand.
Closing time came around and the taps came out, and I found out the titty bar don't accept them coupons. The guy at Taco Bell told me to kiss his ass. I give you $40 worth of coupons for a burrito with cheese. That's all I've got. It's a coupon. So I saw something that comes close to truth in advertising. The De Beers people are almost saying what they really need because the old De Beers slogan, diamonds are forever. They changed it to this year. Take her back away. The new slogan is diamond. Why don't they just go ahead and say it? Dime. That'll shut her up. For a minute. This school, when shit started hitting our house, I was like, fuck this. But anyway, they evacuate the keys and everybody leaves except for one guy who's going to stay there and tie himself to a tree on the beach to prove a point. And the point was, he said, that at 53 years of age, he was in good enough physical condition to withstand the wind and the rain from a 4th Street hurricane. Let me explain something. It isn't that the wind is blowing. It's what the wind is blowing. If you get hit with a Volvo, it doesn't really matter how many seconds. And if you have a yield sign in your spleen, jogging don't come into play. 5 miles without stopping. Shit. Last time I was here, I had somebody broke into my truck and stole my radio. Thank you, whoever you were. Got to drive back to Texas, listen to the sound of wind for 49 hours. I went to the insurance company. I was filling out these forms, and I got to the part on the form where it says what kind of radio was it. I told the guy, I said, Mr. White, I didn't remember what kind of radio it was. That's some good news right there. I thought it was a real expensive sounding brand, and I wrote it down. He knew I was fine. Mr. White, I don't believe Rolex makes a radio. It was a clock radio. Write the check, premium boy. They love it when you call them premium boy. Next time you see your agent, call him a premium boy. You'll get a chuckle. So I almost died this year. Actually, I didn't almost die. I didn't even get hurt. I was in a near-miss plane crash. I was flying from Flagstaff, Arizona to Phoenix, Arizona, because my manager had no flow. We're on a plane that big, like a pack of gum with 8 people in it. And what happened was we took off from the Flagstaff Airport Hair Care and Tire Center there. We're traveling at half the speed of smell. We got passed by a kite. There was a goose behind us, and the pilot was screaming, "Go around!" We get halfway to Phoenix, we got to go back. It's a 9-minute flight. Can't pull it off with this equipment. We had engine trouble. We lost some oil pressure in one of the engines, and they told us about it over the speaker system of the plane, which was stupid because they could have just went, "Hey, we lost some oil pressure." Heard you. Sure did. It was weird. Everybody on the plane was nervous, but I've been drinking such a lot. So I thought, take it down. I don't give a shit. You ever have one of those days? Hit something hard. I don't want to live away from this piece of shit. The guy sitting next to me is losing his mind. Apparently, he had a lot to live for. He goes, "Hey man, hey man, if one of these engines fails, how far will the other one take us?" All the way to the scene of the crash. Which is pretty handy because that's where we're headed. I bet we beat the paramedics there by a half hour. We're hauling ass.
It's important to keep a good color balance.
So I've got a really good job.
Proportionally.
I like my job.
It's more soothing to the eye and creates more motion. So the more
Actually, I haven't always seen
even it is, the more your eye travels around as it identifies each color. And once all the colors are scanned and accounted for, then it just keeps sessioning them out until it achieves satisfactory state.
He got bit by a copperhead. I'm reading him humorous stories out of Reader's Digest.
Science.
I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am from Texas. I'm a cowboy, a real cowboy. I was a bronc rider for 6 years of my life, and it's affected me. Now when I have sex, my arm goes like this. Seems to be some dispute between the wife and I whether or not I'm staying on that full 8 seconds. So we got the timer and buzzer and set it up right there in the bedroom. I taught her the meaning of the phrase most of the time. It would have been all the time, but she won't let me tie that rope around her waist anymore. She hates it when I spur her out of the chutes. Hey, you laugh. It's not easy to keep an erection with a clown and a barrel in the corner of the room. Here's his turn. I'm probably not a typical Texan in that I don't hunt. I fish, but I don't hunt. Not because I think it might somehow be more holy to eat things that's been bludgeoned to death by somebody else. That's it. It's really early in the morning. It's really cold outside. I don't want to go. My cousin Ray, on the other hand, thinks killing a deer with a deer rifle is magic in the forest. I'd like to do for now my impression of my cousin Ray after the big kill. Well, it was 4 in the morning. 22 degrees outside. Of course, you weren't there. Listen. I'm in a camouflage deer blind with grease paint on my face. I've got deer urine on my boots. I'm not sure why. I made that part up. I got a 30-06 with a 12-power scope and a bullet that'll travel 2,200 feet per second. When that deer looked up to lick the salt sucker I hung from the danged old tree, caught him right above the eye. Well, yeah, well, I hit one with a van. Going 55 miles an hour with the headlights on and the horn blowing. Woo, that's an elusive little creature. Never miss one because the bullet's moving too fast. Throw the bullet down to 55 miles an hour, put some headlights and a little horn on it. The deer will actually jump in front of the bullet. Ouch. So I'm a married man, happily married man. Thank you very much for asking. I married a rich woman. If you ever have a choice, go ahead. Actually, that's a lie. She's not rich at all. Her parents are loaded, and they hate my guts. And I'm waiting for them to die. And you'll know if they die too, because you'll never see my fat ass again. I'll be in Palm Beach with my new friends. Hand me a beer, Teddy.
His friend's name is going to be Titty.
Servants rich. My in-laws have servants. Isn't that weird? I thought when I married their daughter, they'd send the servant along with us. Help do all the shit they never taught her how to do.
Nope.
And I was wrong. We're now leaning on her domestic skills. And, ooh, she's handy. I came home from doing a show the other night. She goes, honey, the dryer's broken. Did you check the lint filter, sweetheart? Sit down, honey, I'll check it. I open it up. Is there anything in there? There's a quilt in there. Look, you made a sofa cushion. I hear a lot of this. I hear a lot of, Ryan, you're a pretty good sized old boy. But I guess a little woman's a good cook. Oh, shit. Oh, it got a little better when she figured out that smoke alarm's not a timer. I had to tell her, honey, the food is done before that particular buzzer goes off. It was real bad when we first got married. The first meal she cooked in our new house, I couldn't get it. I gave it to my dog. He started licking his butt. She comes in the kitchen and goes, what's he doing? Looks like he's trying to get the taste out of his mouth. Everything's an emergency to my wife because she never had to deal with her own problems. Spoiled, catered to it her whole life. There's no cure, right, for that. I was in Atlanta one time. She called me one night, and this is me in the hotel room. They catch me in the lobby and tell me I have an emergency phone call from home. I knock over 10 people in the lobby of a very nice hotel thinking maybe my in-laws. I call her, she tells me my dog Sluggo just took a dump on the new carpet. Shoot him. She goes, that's just like you, Vaughn. I have a genuine problem, and you're being sarcastic. All right, honey, I'm sorry. Put the dog on the phone, I'll talk to her. What do you want me to do? I'm in Georgia. I can't pick up the turd. Put a paper towel over it. I'll be home in a week, honey. I get home, it looks like a little campground in the living room. Somebody's having a Poopapalooza concert. Let him outside. He'll shit out there. I've seen him do it. We have a beautiful son. His name is Marshall. I named him after an amplifier. Almost named him Peavy. Come here, blob punk, you little whooper. Get over here. My son's 5 years old. My son thinks 5 years old is a very cool age to be because that's the coolest age he's gotten to. His favorite thing about being 5 years old is he's old enough to wear a seatbelt. That's his biggest visible step towards manhood so far in his eyes. You know, he's strapped in the trunk just like his daddy, and he thinks that's great. I think it's great too because I drive a four-wheel drive truck, and I learned this about four-wheel drive trucks. It doesn't really matter how big the motor is or how big the tires are. Your macho days are over when you strap a car seat in front of that bad boy. You just can't show it off to your buddies, you know what I mean? You can't make yourself go, what, that? That's got the Vortec V8 running 285 horsepower. Yeah! That's a Manitowoc power winch. That'll pull 28 tons right out of the ditch. Yeah! That's a play school car seat with the big bird steering wheel attachment right there on it. That's Bird on the blinker, Ernie on the windshield wiper. That's Big Bird in the middle. You can honk that fat bastard if you want to. Hell, in 2 weeks, I'll have the Cookie Monster flip mirror. Backwarded on me. I don't know how to drive the truck anymore. I bought this big two-story custom van to tour in. And it's kind of neat. It's got the James Bond couch in the back where you push a button and the couch in the back automatically turns into a bed. And I'm like, well, that's cool. I finally got something over those Mercedes-Benz driving in-laws. You know what I mean? When I first bought the van, I was real proud of it. And I took it straight over to my brother-in-law's house to show it off. It's such a trick. He takes one look at my new van and goes, I can't believe you didn't buy a Mercedes van. They don't make a van. They hate it when you do that. Because Ron, I don't think you fully understand the intricacies of Mercedes-Benz engineering. Why, I've got the 3-inch windshield wiper that keeps my headlight clean in a rainstorm. I got a place to fuck your sister. I don't know why they don't like me. Bet you wish you had one of these. It's a kit. Kidding. I want to screw up good whiskey. Oh, tasty. Actually, that was all bullshit. I just got a divorce. I just wanted to do those 3 drugs before I told you. And I'll tell you what went wrong, because I feel like I can be honest with you folks, and you won't judge me, or maybe you will out there. But I'll tell you, it's very, very difficult to marry out of your class. I come from a lower middle class family. My daddy worked his ass off his whole life for not very much, and that does not make you better than me. You know what I mean? My dad was a good man, and they're always going to just look down their nose at you like you're supposed to be carrying some piss bucket for them or something. And if you're not willing to carry the piss bucket, it ain't going to work. And she got convinced in her crazy head that I had sex with this girl in Columbus, Ohio. And I did, and I'll tell you why. When you enter into a monogamous relationship with somebody, you usually do it at a point in the relationship when you're having a lot of sex. So you're willing to sign the papers. I'll only have sex with you, ever, 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 ever. Well, if that person stops having sex altogether, why, you find yourself in quite a pickle. I'm a pretty good dog, but if you don't pet me every once in a while, it's hard to keep me under the porch. I'm not as flexible as a real dog. And I'll tell you what happened, too. I was in Columbus, Ohio. I had been laid in 3 months. 3 months. You can't go 3 months without having sex with me. I'll go have sex with somebody else. I know. I've seen me do it. I did a show one night. I came off stage as a gorgeous woman, maybe 35, 40 years old, long black dress, slid up to her waist. Gorgeous. I walk off stage. She goes, I thought you were hilarious. I want to buy you a drink. I'm like, I can't do that. She goes, I didn't ask you if you want to have sex, big boy. I asked if you want to have a drink at my place. I'm like, all right. Well, you know that little guy that sits on your shoulder that reminds you of your prior commitments and your moral fortitude? I didn't hear a peep out of that guy. He hadn't been laid in 3 months either. He was speechless for like 20 minutes, and he was like, sucker titty. I wasn't gonna. I'm having a 3-way with my conscience. As soon as the whole thing's over, he's back at his post. That was wrong, mister. Hey, 20 minutes ago, you were beating off on my shoulder, monkey boy. I hate him. He smokes pot. He burned a hole in my other jacket. So, I've been spending a ton of time in Los Angeles. I learned things when I go to LA. I learned this. They have bikinis now made out of seashells. I didn't know that. And I also didn't know this. If you're ever walking down the beach and you see a girl dressed in a bikini made out of seashells, and you pick her up, you hold her in your ear, you can hear her scream. Who'd have thunk it? I thought I'd hear the ocean, but not over that woman. Hush, ma'am. She was a wiggler. LA changes people. I got a buddy of mine from Houston. He's a comedian, moved to LA 6 months ago. 6 months in LA, don't know him. 6 months in LA. Now he's a vegetarian, a humanitarian, environmentalist. You know, great. If you're here tonight, you're a vegetarian. Shut up. You're not going to recruit me. I did not climb to the top of the food chain to eat carrots. Not even that good for you. Ever see a healthy looking vegetarian? They look like shit. They're all plump and gray because their bodies become intolerant of things they need. And I'll give you an example. I'm on the way to the Melrose Improv in Hollywood to do a set with my buddy. He says this, and I quote, "I feel nauseous and I have a headache. I think that vegetable soup I had for lunch must have had beef broth in it." I didn't know what to say. Your system's kicking back broth? You're a manly man, aren't you? Why are you a vegetarian? I asked him, and it wasn't even because meat was bad for you. He said that raising cattle was bad for the planet. Cow flatulence in the ozone and the clearing of land for the raising of cattle. What are you doing to help the environment? I'm eating the cows. But I'm only one man. Whatever the hell that meant. Every time I read a newspaper in Los Angeles, California, I get pissed because things don't have to make sense in LA. I read an article in the paper in LA that said they're going to try to outlaw the big screen, real life handgun shooting video games because they say that that's what's wrong with the youth in America today. They learn how to accurately shoot guns with video games. It's not a parenting problem. Oh, fucking no. No, it's a video problem. Doesn't it piss you off when you have a genuine problem and try to tack a solution to it? It's got nothing to do with the problem. You know what I mean? I came up with a great idea. Don't outlaw those machines. Give them to the state troopers of California because they're some of the worst shots I've ever seen in my life. I saw a shootout once live on TV that went on for so long, eventually the criminal got frustrated and shot himself. And the cops were on TV whining about it, going, "He's got on body armor. He's got on body armor." I'm watching it live on CNN going, "I can see his head. Shoot him in the fucking head. Give my kid a shot." How's that, Daddy? Good shot, Poot. Everybody relax. Poot took him out. Thank God Poot was there with his considerable skills. Horrible shot, some cops are. You ever seen tape of the Kehoe brothers from Ohio? Those guys that get out of that white Suburban.
I saw that one. That was goddamn ridiculous.
Have a shootout with the police at point blank range. Nobody gets hurt. I would love to have been at the office the next day when that guy's being interviewed by the chief. And then what happened? Well, at that point, I unloaded my semi-automatic 9mm weapon at point blank range. And then what happened? They left. Nice shooting, Elmer Fudd. There was a kid in Detroit 3 years ago, shot 8 bullets, hit 9 people. These two cops shot 22 bullets, didn't even hit the fucking Suburban. Give those guys a roll of quarters, drop them off at the mall. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Just not like Texas, you know. I'll tell you the biggest difference between Texas and California. In Texas, we have the death penalty and we use it. That's right. If you come to Texas and kill somebody, we will kill you back. That's our policy. We're trying to send a message to the rest of America, and the message is go somewhere else and kill people. Come to California, they don't give a shit. I was watching a case on Court TV when I was out there. I got so mad steam was shooting out of my ears. This guy's convicted of a triple homicide. This guy kills a grandmother, a mother, and a granddaughter without provocation. And a crime so heinous I can't even fit it in my head. He's sentenced to death by a jury of his peers, and right before it comes time to carry out the sentence, the group of people on his behalf, stand up and they go, "We can't kill him. He's too crazy to know we're killing him." And what the hell are we arguing about? If we don't know the difference and it makes me feel better, how do you know he's crazy? That's what I want to know. Of course he's crazy. Killed 3 people, you know? This is what they said. He rolls his turds into little balls and eats crayon. I'm like, shit, you got to quit putting all crazy people in one group, goddammit. You got to separate them up a little bit. You know what I mean? What does that crazy person do? Oh, he rolls his turds into little balls and eats crayons. Fine, I'll feed him for the rest of his life. What does that crazy person do? Oh, he kills productive members of our society. Well, he should have rolled his shit into little balls and ate crayons. Because the penalty is much less severe. We're trying to pass a bill right now through the Texas legislature that will speed up the process of execution and heinous crime when there's more than 3 credible eyewitnesses. If more than 3 people saw you do what you did, you don't sit on death row for 15 years, Jack. You go straight to the front of the line. Other states are trying to abolish the death penalty. My state's putting in an express lane.
Chapter 21.
I did that in California. This guy comes up to me after the show, and you can tell he was nervous to talk to me. He goes, because you know what? That may be true about Texas, the death penalty, but you know what? You know what? What? He waited for me to say what. That's kind of cute. He goes, there's an old law in Texas that states that in Texas you cannot shoot somebody in the back no matter what they did to you or your family or your place of business. It's illegal for you to, in turn, shoot them in the back. Like, yeah, but you can start shooting them in the leg till they turn around.
Valid point.
Because eventually they're going to get curious. Who shoot me in the leg? I wonder quietly to myself.
Getting there. Getting to understand.
Oh, that guy. Never turn around. I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day. I have a friend. He's a homophobe. Is that the most useless thing you could possibly be? Is afraid of gay people. I was talking to him the other day, and he goes, man, this world would be better if it wasn't so many queers. And I'm like, you know what? The next time you have a thought, let it go. I go, we're all gay. It's just to what extent are you gay? He goes, that's bullshit, man. I ain't gay at all. I'm like, yeah, you are, and I can prove it. He goes, fine, prove it. I'm like, all right, do you like porn? He goes, yeah, I love porn. You know that. I'm like, oh, do you only watch scenes with 2 women together? He goes, no, I watch a man and woman making love. I'm like, oh, do you like the guy to have a small half-flaccid penis? He goes, no, I like big, hard, throbbing cock. I did not know that about myself. I promised Sears I would tell this story on stage every night until the lawsuit settled. I had my van down in Savannah, Georgia. I didn't like the way the tires were wearing on it. I took the van to Sears Automotive, a trusted name in automotive service. It takes them 3.5 hours to change 4 tires. Apparently, they had to whittle one of them out of a piece of wheat. I pay them $980 of my hard-earned money I take a right-hand turn out of the mall. The left rear wheel falls off. It falls off. It falls the fuck off. Turning my van into a tripod, spinning me into a dimension of pissed off I have never been in before in my life. This guy was a tire guy. That's all he did. He didn't some days work on transmissions. He was a tire guy. Sears, I found out later, had sent him to tire college for 3 days. Well, apparently he was sick on Lug Nut Day. But they still let him work on my van. So I'm suing them, and I hope that next year they have to change the name of Sears Tower in Chicago to Ron White's big old goddamn building. You guys can all come over and party too. I'm gonna have a lot of room. Think we ought to clean up, Ryan? Hell no, move to another floor. We'll conga up there. Somebody grab my butt. Bring your coupons.
Color balance is also important to maintain the 3D effect. Some of that.
Now, when I say I got thrown out of the bar, I don't mean somebody asked me to leave. We walked to the door together. I said, bye, everybody. I gotta go. 6 bouncers hurled me out of a nightclub like I was a frisbee. Those big old bouncers that go home every night, watch Roadhouse and beat off. You know what I'm talking about? Patrick Swayze's hitting another guy.
Swayze.
For wearing a hat. I walk into a bar with a hat on. This guy real pissy. Take off the hat! I'm like, what's the deal? He goes, I'll tell you what the deal is. Faggots in this area wear hats. We're trying to keep them out of a club. I'm like, oh, really? The only way we can tell down south is if they have their hair cut like yours. And he got all pissed. But he walked away, and I took the hat off. And like an hour later, I'd been drinking, and I forgot. Never forget, happened to me. I put the hat back on. The guy comes over to me. Now, I'm between 6'1" and 6'6", depending on which convenience store I'm leaving. I weigh 235 pounds. This guy comes over to me, poking me in the shoulder with 2 fingers, says, "You're out of here." I'm like, I don't think so. And I was wrong. They hurled my ass. And then they squared off with me in the parking lot, and I backed down from the fight. I don't know how many of them it would have taken to whip my ass. But I knew how many they were going to use. It's a handy little piece of information to have right there. Overkill. Well, they called the police because we broke a chair on the way out the door, and I refused to pay for it. The cops showed up, and at that point, I had the right to remain silent, but I didn't have the ability. The cop says, "Mr. White, you are being charged with drunk in public." I was like, hi. I was drunk in the bar. They threw me into public. I don't want to be drunk in public. I want to be drunk in a goddamn bar, which is perfectly legal. Arrest them. satellites are linking up in outer space. Computer banks at NASA are kicking on. There's a telegraph in French Texas going. This part takes a while. Shorthand. Beep. Now, I told you that story to tell you this story. When I was 17 years old, I was arrested for being drunk in public. Seemed to be a pattern. If you knew Morse code, you would already know that. And one particular guy was with a bogus charge because it turns out that the vehicle traveling down that particular sidewalk. And that's profiling, I believe. The drunken public charge inflicts the arresting officer, who I have literally known all my life. You know what I mean? This guy lived 4 doors down from me in a town of less than 400 people. We've met. He takes me to jail. When we get there, he asked me if I have any aliases, and I was just being a smart ass and said, yeah, they call me Tater Salad. 17 years later in New York City, I'm handcuffed on a bench with blood coming out of my nose. This cop goes, "Are you Ron Tater Salad? What?" You caught me. You caught the tater. You can take down those roadblocks now. I call my son Tater Tot and Boot. I'm a dog lover. Actually, I love my dog. I don't give a shit about your dog. I don't know your dog. Your dog could be an asshole. Sluggo's an English bulldog. Sluggo, don't jack with me. Right, you know what I do to him when he's asleep?
Jerks him off.
Bulldog jowls, and I hide M&Ms and shit in there. He wakes up in the morning, he's like, "It's gonna be a good day, Tater." He calls me Tater. He's a great dog. He's sick right now, which is a pain in the butt, because if he gets sick, you can't just feed him medicine, he'll spit it out, and you gotta hide it in a piece of cheese. I studied him out last year for picking the litter, and I put him with the female dog for a couple of weeks, and then to make sure it took, I took him down to the veterinarian's office and had artificial insemination done twice. Now, for those of you that don't know, that's where they obtained the semen from Sluggo and put it in the female dog, and now it don't take shit to get on Sluggo to go to the vet. He loves the place. I went down there and the veterinarian had the audacity to say to me, "Mr. White, if you'll just come on back here, we'll show you how to do this. And next time you don't have to bring in the dog, you can just bring in the semen." That's okay. You go ahead and jack off the dog. He follows me around too much as it is. But I'm going to spend the rest of my life with this bulldog. Jack me off! Get out of here. We got company. You did it the other day. Do it yourself. I don't get any stuff.
I got one.
Jack me off, a piece of shit. Do we talk to Daddy that way? Please? Please check me off the piece of shit. I don't have any goddamn phone. I've lost my mind, haven't I? I'll tell you a little bit more about the demise of my relationship. There was that one thing where I had like the girl, but that wasn't the underlying problem. The big problem was the first problem was this: we lived in a house and it had a thermostat. That's it. Because I like the temperature of the house between 70 and 75, and she liked the temperature of the house between 75 and 110. And you can't keep tater salad at that temperature. We fought about it. She was psycho. Psycho wouldn't love me. We have an argument one night about the temperature of the dwelling. She goes outside with a butcher knife and cuts the tires on my truck. So I drug up an old Polaroid and entered her in Hustler's Beaver Hunt. And she won. And I used the money to get me some new tires.
Bullshit.
She super glued my dick to my
You were only
stomach,
worth $50 from Beaver Hunt back in the day.
Do you see how things just get out of hand? Still itches. But after 3 years of being married to this woman, I still didn't understand her. She would get mad at me when I was trying to help her. I'll give you an example. Let's say she'd wake up in the morning and be real busy.
I'm a hero.
Let's just say. And I knew in my heart she was suffering from PMS. And out of my love, I would offer her my dog. And tell her, honey, I believe if you eat this my dog, you won't bitch quite so much. She would growl at me and wouldn't eat the my dog. I had to hide it in a piece of cheese. Thanks for playing along. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much. My night is over, and I'm gonna go to the bar. But the bar is in my pocket, so I don't have to go too far. Beautiful song, right? So, how'd you like the show?
It was awesome. Awesome. Oh, I loved it.
I think it's hilarious. Ron White kills me. Yeah, that tater salad joke gets me, man. I couldn't stop laughing.
Tater salad.
We
awesome.
love it.
Tater salad, so good.
It's too funny. My jaw's hurting. I think I was crying more than anything.
You enjoyed the show?
Yes.
You had a really good time?
Yes.
Did you laugh?
Hilarious.
Did you laugh?
Did you pee?
No, he's not only funny, he
Did
is
you
cutie
laugh?
pie and a nice butt. My
Yikes.
side still hurts. It's so funny.
God, the bit about his in-laws is just hilarious. Hilarious. Guy from Texas. That's like a sitcom waiting to happen.
I think I'm going to start drinking scotch.
Where'd you see the Blue Collar Tour?
At a house.
Tater came right into your living room?
Absolutely. And he was on a beanbag with Cheetos, too.
Not bad.
Taha.
Can't just give somebody money and they give you back a beer. You know what I mean? I stood in line for an hour. My mouth is dry. I want a beer. I love beer. I know they're selling beer. People are walking away from the front of the line. They try a student phone free for 1 month.
I was at school. The principal told me that I had to leave completely and that I couldn't come back unless I changed my hair. He said, in order to wear my
your spirit ahead. If we do not stop, correct, and change some of these wrongdoing now, we are all going to suffer. Either things that we make may overtake us, or nature will take over. Earthquake, flood, rain, severe drought, severe winter, lightning, destruction, great wind, destruction. These things will warn us that we are not following the law of the Great Spirit.
Most dramatic was one day in Saigon when a Buddhist parade started off with sort of a hypnotic chant. The young robed priests marching along, and then we stepped forward, a very frail man in his 70s who turned out to be this priest. He assumed the lotus posture. Another priest stepped forward and poured gas. The priests and the nuns and the audience moaned and prostrated themselves toward this burning figure. And he sat there uncomfortable. The smell of gasoline and burning flesh in the air for 10 minutes. People thought they saw the face of Buddha in the clouds that night.
Where are we at? 142. It's fucking weird having that I'm out of place. Like you can literally start scratching. It's me too, Peach. I have the tablet so I can actually read the comments in chat instead of trying to see to the phone. And good news, other than the good news, the Russians coming through soon. His college is almost done, and then he's got a break, and then he can fix my computer up so I can start recording again. So that's good. I don't remember if he said 3 more weeks or 3 more days. I don't even remember texting him back, honestly. It was sometime last week. I just know it happened. Because I've been looking at his Halloween mask hanging up over in the corner for fucking since Halloween. Like, dude, I don't want your stuff hanging out. But yeah, it came out pretty good so far, I think. The lighting isn't the greatest for the color, but it's like, I don't know, however many colors that is. I'd guesstimate 26 different colors, including the different shades of metallic, blues and greens and purples. And then maybe I'll let that dry for a minute so my hand doesn't smear it. And then I'll start working on the black overlay. And I think I have a chrome around here somewhere. I'm not sure. That's what'll really set it off. Like I do the art kind of the same way I do, you do music. You have chords. So in the same way you would have 3 different notes on different strings, I'll use 3 different colors and then combine them with the black to make one line formulation. There's total absence of green in the bottom corner though. Maybe I'll make a big giant carrot. No, I don't have fleas. I was just out in the sun and I didn't have my hat on. So my headphones were rubbing on the top of my scalp. It irritated it a little bit. And sometimes it just feels good to scratch your head. Ooh, I think I can play my shit. And I can't copyright strike a goddamn thing. If you weren't here at the start of it, I played a full live rendition of one of my albums. I forgot the name of it because I can't see the CD from here. Which one was it? Where do I get my hands on you? It is a good question. Monica has all my extra CDs. So pretty much tells me those are gone. We'll see if this one will play. There's no telling. Like the discs are really old, even though they're not really scratched. It's called Peasants Are Killed Daily. I want to know who was drumming till I started up. Me and my brother both play drums. So we share recording duties. Today. I'm tired of me trying to wear out my PlayStation watching movies. Mostly my kid. He's only 6. He doesn't necessarily want to watch a movie all the way through. So Grandpa Day to watch 20 movies. I don't know because they're all stacked up across the front of the TV cabinet. Fun fact, most of my lyrics are about performing oral sex on women. Don't hold out on the big bag. A lot of people discount the popcorn that's the smaller buds at the base of the plant. But honestly, that's where a lot of the strongest buds can be found sometimes. The one hit quick. It's like a piss poor trim. But it's like a QP, a popcorn. So it's like, yes, sir, I ain't complaining. Tell me when you're ready for more seeds, because I'm always ready for more weed for you to grow, to get back to me. I'm just gonna put it at the bottom of the bag too. Sloppy. It's a cute bag that he put it in there. It's like a little clutch. Going out for a day trip. Smacked Out 11's coming up soon. That's exciting. Dragon's Lair has a 5-card battle coming up soon too. That should be some dope shit. Word Sport has cool shit going on. What else has been hot lately? Mike Hunt. Nobody answered me at all today on that one. So all these bitch baby whiny fucktards. The injection works. It works. It's a success. How do you know? If it's a 2-part or a 3-part series that equates to 1 shot, the way rabies does, your treatment isn't complete until you've had all of the doses it takes. So, I'm just curious how you got the winner of that fucking game when you haven't played all the periods. And like, you say shit like that, oh, well, you're a Trumper. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, I've made one statement about Trump ever, and it was my Halloween costume, and it was Trump as Freddy Krueger. And I'm not going to explain that one. If you don't know about Freddy Krueger, then, you know, go watch the movie. You had a bad childhood. There you came out with your little butterfly. Precious. Yeah, all day. Jason likes the duck sauce. What is it? Sweet and sour pork? Ho, ho, ho! Got a cough to get off. lamest fucking allergy in the world. I'm allergic to dust mites. Sucks. There's literally every fucking where on the planet. So I had to get baked to cleanse my pipes. Sacrifices I make. Tuxedo black. Tuxedo whack. Ooh, much better. It's nice and luscious. Thick. Heavy word. It also has some on chintzy. Better. I need to grab something from the living room. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. I'll watch a movie, call it bedtime. I gotta work 8 hour shift tomorrow. Christmas Eve, I only have to work till 2 p.m. But it's like 8 in the morning till 2 p.m., so it's another day like it was for fucking Thanksgiving. It's like, but it's holiday pay, so that's tits. Fucking Walmart doesn't sell webcams at their store. I wanted to plug into my tower. I can't find mine. I had a broadcast camera, built-in mic, and it had great sound. And I don't know where the fuck it is. So I thought I'd buy a new one today because I needed the DVD player. Nope, can't get them there. You can order it online and they'll have it there. And I'm like, what idiot thought of that system? Like, you're the store. I expect you to have it for me. You got them at the warehouse. Put them in your goddamn store. Well, there's limited space. I was like, you got 15 versions of the same headphones and chargers. by 5 different companies. You got more variety than you got product. I was like, you're losing the fucking battle here. You're retarded. That's why there's only Hot Wheels and Matchbox, and not Hot Wheels, Matchbox, Tom's Cars, Dick's Cars, fucking and 10 other brands, because there'd be no room for any other toys. These people are so busy jamming toys up their ass, it's broken their fucking brain, because that's where their head is, way up their ass. But I digress. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's my brother on drums on this one. Because I have like my signature tribal beat that I throw in. And there's certain drum fills that I do that are like old school jazz fills that like you don't know. But there's a lot of shit that he does that I don't really do. Like we got different flourish when we play. You can't even fuck with me on guitar or bass or any of the other shit. I have to be careful when I'm sending out my smoke like that, because my relatives might get the wrong message from the smoke signals. Listening to teepees, then they can't see peace. I need my teepee. Teepee for my bunghole. Man, I need Virginia Beach Beats. I'm thinking about it, and like I only know one person there who has equipment that I still talk to, and I don't even really talk to him sporadically once a year, maybe on his birthday. But I have like I would guesstimate at least 180, 45 to 60-minute 4-track sessions completed with multiple guitar tracks and whatnot. Just sitting in a box in the closet of my mom's for safekeeping. She tried to be cool and she sent me like a handful of them one time. But then she sent kitchen magnets and shit with them. I was like, man, I tried to harvest them and it's so spotty, it's like Swiss cheese memory, like, oh my God, couldn't even tolerate playing to it because it was every 10 seconds, cut. Like at least the CD I was working yesterday, well, technically it was yesterday, I think, when I started, but whatever, I digress. When I started, that CD. Had a few stall outs, but I think that was more my brother being lazy than technical difficulty. Like, it's an overall okay drum track disc, but you could tell he phoned it in. But he's having a baby soon, so that's exciting. I'm finally going to be an uncle. I made him an uncle 3 times. Now I finally get to be one, but only once so far. And I'm happy that I'm an uncle before I'm a granddad. Like, when I get that call, I'm going to be, like, happy, but also, like, damn, I'm not ready to be, like, old, like, grandpa dad. Dad, my grandpa, yes. Fun fact, the first album I recorded, well, no, it wasn't the first album. We recorded the area beat down my way before that. But the first recordings that I was able to put on the internet, shall we say, back in 96, 97, we recorded that. And like, my friend Rob had a fucking, he called it a spare room, and it was basically like a walk-in closet that he converted into his little recording studio, which was like a couple of karaoke machines. So he had a bunch, like 4 microphones, and then he had his guitar, and then he had a tape deck and a mixer, and then I'd bring over my amps and acid, and recorded 2 spectacular albums of keyboards and guitars and vocals. And just, I think one of them's still up on SoundCloud. I had to check, but I have all that in my hard drive. It's just, and like when I would sell people acid, I would make them take a copy of the album, and I would be like, "No, I'm gonna call you later to make sure you listen, because there's a really funny joke in it." And everybody's like, "What is it?" I'm like, "Well, you got to listen the whole time to hear it." I was like, "But I promise, when you get to the end of it, you're gonna be laughing your ass off." And that was the joke of it. There was no joke, but you would be laughing because there was a lot of female orgasm sounds in the soundtrack. Just a bunch of there. I had a really good effects rack at that point, and a built-in Electra with built-in effects, so it had like a really good trippy 70s sound. It would just tickle your ears. Solid State has good effects, but they're all about digital timing signatures and the lo-fi, old school pedals, and just shitty amps. I don't play a high-end amp, but I don't play a low-end amp either. I got a Line 6. I mean, I got like the mid-range amp from them. Just a nice stage amp for like an open mic size jam in your living room kind of thing. If I was going to go out and play shows again, I'd have to get at least 215s or 4x12. And I would want a Laney head. Probably the Line 6 pod effect. But I would want the stomp box for it, so I could have multi-effects set up. Because that's the fun of it. When you have your foot pedals, you can set up everything and just a band when you're dialed in. It's so much more fun. Fucking smoke keeps going on. It's pissing me off. Yeah. I'm so out of shape on guitar, it's sickening. Like back in the day, I used to play like 6, 7 hours a day. And then if I was tripping, I'd play up to 18 hours. We play concerts, but they're like private concerts for maybe 5, 10 people tops. Because you had to be special to see that kind of performance. And you would have audience participation sometimes. And we would record it all. I need to find that guy. I need to get somebody in my house, my mom's house, get that shit. Because I want to redo that album. There's one album. There's like 8 of us tripping balls. Just tripping balls, dude. We ate mushrooms and acid that night. And I had a Freon tank, and we were all hitting the Freon too. Because we were just fucking nuts. That was right after my divorce. So I was just out of it. And I was hitting, like, that was the extent of hard drugs for me. Like, ooh, Freon tank. Like, I never got into cocaine or heroin or meth or shit like that. I tried each of them, and they were like, it didn't do anything for me, so I never went back for more. Whereas acid and mushrooms and weed, yes, those are always great. Until you become a parent, and then you can't party as hard anymore. Obviously. But again, I digress. It's the final track in this album. I'm gonna call it a night. Because I kind of missed it. But you know how this dabs be doing. They get you jabber in your jaw. Unless you're some kind of lightweight, then they knock your ass to the low. Don't be fooled. I'll smoke everybody under the table. I'll dab you out fucking 10 in a row. You'll be passing out sweat. And I'll just be sitting there giggling about it. My boss thinks it's funny as shit to pack in your head that makes me throw up. Like, because what happens is your sinuses drain down the back of your throat, and that makes you gag. And then if you have enough phlegm, it vacuum pumps. So it's like a plunger in your throat. Phlegm going back and forth, and you end up puking up a little bit of juice. And he just thinks that's the funniest shit ever. And it is, but, you know, Mr. Pants. Shout out to Mr. Pence out there in Hollywood, growing the good stuff for all of us, doodads, across America, Colombia. How come that song's one of our national songs? Oh, Colombia, the gem of the ocean. Because it's America, right? Not Colombia. Just curious. Thought it occurred to me. Why? Because this song reminded me of a beautiful dove flying upwards and for a split second becoming a silhouette against the sun before flying away. And Colombia is the dove. As we learned in James Bond, they had their Order of the Dove. And they were like secret society peoples. But anyhow, something to think about. And that was that. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the chatter, whatever you're watching on. Yapping at me with my device overload here. And we'll see you next time. Peace.